Well, thank you,
Thank you.
for taking the time to do this podcast together.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've done several podcasts in the past. And of course, the goal of our podcast together is to help the listeners understand more about Unity and what Unity is, but definitely also to get to know you a bit more.
Sure.
And what I normally do as an introduction to the podcast is that I try to explain why I'm inspired by my guests, so why I invited them. So I thought maybe we can do it together, right? I introduce you to the listeners and you can introduce me.
Okay.
So the journey for me with Zain has started, I think, in April. And all the people I've met so far, starting with Mashal, Mariam, Fahad, Sheikha, and all the task force, there's something there with all of you that really resonates also with my sense of purpose. And we're going to talk about purpose along the way. And I all feel that you have this sense of wanting to change the world. And then in our journey, of course, also the interview with you. And for me, one of my, let's say, dream scenarios has always been to meet CEOs that has the courage to say, I really want to go for human centricity. Right? Yes, we need to be profitable. Yes, there are numbers. But how we do this really makes a difference. And that really resonated when I talked to you. Really have that same sort of shared sense of purpose. And I really even felt goosebumps when we were doing the interview together. So I'm really honored to be on this journey with you together.
Thank you.
And I really think you have an amazing journey ahead.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure having my first podcast with you. It's really an honor, and it's really an honor to be part of your program of transforming Zain into a better human-centric company. I look forward to the journey. I think we're going to achieve something. With your experience, with our passion, I think we will reach somewhere where we set the standard of how service providers should really think of the profitability and the purpose of doing business. And I think they go both together.
Yeah.
I am excited because this is the first time for me. I've always believed in the culture side and the soft side, but this is the first time for me to look at it from a scientific and professional point of view, where we can put numbers and actions to achieve a purpose, and we can measure that. This is a new for me, and I'm very, very, very excited to go through this journey. Thank you.
I think it's interesting, right? Because for me, I'm also not really a numbers person. But one of the things that I've learned in the past 25 years is that if, let's say, we, maybe the more softer people, want to mobilize the harder people, we need to speak the language.
Exactly.
Right? So I think my challenge was, how do I make this experience thing that's really fluffy, hard measurable? And that's where the science comes in. But first, let's start a bit sharing the listeners more about you and your personal journey. Can you just share a bit about your background, how you got here, and also maybe a bit about your family?
Okay.
And how they feel about you working. I've learned a lot for Zain.
Yeah, we'll start with history. So born in 31st of January 1976. Actually, we were two born. So I have a twin brother. To a loving family, showing love and passion was something normal in the house. So probably this shaped my culture and my perspective of looking at things. Continued my education normally in government schools. Then joined Kuwait University in 1993. Actually, I didn't want to go to the university. My passion was somewhere else. Totally different than what we...
Tell me.
The army.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wanted to join the Air Force. But faith has different directions. So I was not accepted because of age. I was under 18.
You were too young.
Yeah, I was too young.
Okay.
6 months younger than 18, so 17 and a half.
Because the dream was to be a pilot?
Yeah. Aviation was always my dream, actually. I still love it. And 1993 was really after the war of Kuwait and all this hype about all what happened.
Yeah.
Being a young kid, it really drives your passion somewhere else. But as I told you, faith took me somewhere else. So when I was not accepted, I just immediately went to Kuwait University, joined as a student in engineering college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty close to the airplane, right?
No, that was the only choice I had, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, that, yeah. And I registered on the last day of registration. I remember that. In, I think, June 1993. And I got accepted in electrical engineering. Me and my twin brother also. So we had the same path.
Nice.
Spent 5 years in engineering. I did my studies, but could not really comprehend why I'm doing this. For me, it was just passing course after course after course. I could not relate to my studies and what do I want in my life.
Yeah.
It did not click. Then when we graduated in 1998, actually my brother came to me and said, listen, let's go to MTC at that time, which is Zain currently.
Yeah.
Let's apply. And we applied and we got accepted, both of us also, in a span of 1 week. So I joined 1 week ahead of him. I have seniority on him. And I went as a training engineer in the radio department in technology.
Yeah.
And this was the first time in my life that I really understood. I cannot say it's a sense of purpose at that time because I was young and could not comprehend these ideas.
Could be.
But I knew what I'm doing and I knew why. Being an engineer in the radio department, we have direct interaction with customers because we are responsible for the sites that serves the customers directly instead of being in the IT side, just doing systems and processes and procedures.
Yeah.
So it really built my character. I could not stay in the office. My job was always non-routine, if we can say. We go to the sites, we fix customer complaints, 24/7 on call. Whenever a VIP customer complains, we physically go and see the problem. So 26 years ago was my first interaction with the customer directly.
What did you love about that?
Because you see the result of your work directly on people. That's a privilege in my department that no one, I think, has.
Yeah.
Usually you see it in terms of KPIs and numbers. But when you solve a customer complaint directly, even if you are an engineer working on a tower, fixing an antenna, then you go to his place and you just tell him it was fixed. Are you happy or not? And I really believed it. I thought this is my job, to make customers happy. I never looked at KPIs and numbers. I could not comprehend numbers and tables. We didn't have a lot of laptops at that day, so everything is printed and we go through numbers. And yes, the network was small. We could memorize every site, but
you didn't need numbers.
No, we didn't need numbers. I remember every site. I participated in every site.
And is there a story from that day that really still resonates with you? Or you feel this is why I love this work?
Yeah, this is why I love the work. I could not remember the faces or the names of everyone I went to. But I saw the impact I did. I remember not doing scientific job fixing the network. It's all about this is a place and this is a customer and this is a site that needs to cover this customer. I need to do whatever it takes. So I used to work with my hands a lot. But the feedback I got by providing positive feedback, which ignites your passion to give more and more and more. Just focus on my job, making sure I do deliver, and trying to, motivate people to just go out. And so the company provided everything. They gave us a car, the tools, the safety harnesses that we need to
climb up
climb up the towers. And at that time I was young, so I did all the things.
Are you saying that now you would not climb up there anymore?
No, not again. Not without insurance. So, two things you learn growing up: to fear flying with turbulence. We used to enjoy them before, but now I don't enjoy them. And the fear of heights.
Okay.
I don't know, it comes naturally with age, I think. Or that's me, I don't know. So the company has been privatized with the new management and the new structure. And I think I was the strongest, let's say, objector of this.
Okay.
I don't know why. I felt the pride of Kuwait in the company. Why lose this? Who are these new investors and new management?
Yeah.
I always had this
You
rebellion.
need to prove their value first, right?
It's the rebellion side.
Yeah.
So my house is a political house. So we always discuss politics and all these things. Although none of us are politicians.
Yeah.
But politics was really something in the middle of every day's discussion. Some of us are right, some of us are left. So there is always this rebellion thinking in my mind. It's a takeover. We need to defend the company and its values. But I was proven wrong. I think the privatization of Zain gave us bigger opportunities than what we thought. New management comes with new vision and new direction. Probably not everyone understands them in the beginning, especially being young, 3-4 years in the company.
Yeah.
But it opened the door. And in 2005, I think Zain Group was created in the purpose of achieving a strategy called 3+3+3. So it was a challenge. For me, it was improving my job more in order to achieve something I don't understand. What do you want to achieve in 9 years? EBITDA of $11 million, I think it was, $11 billion at that time. I could not relate to these kind of numbers.
Yeah.
But the strategy took a practical direction of acquiring companies in the region. And suddenly Zain became a very big organization. And at that time, this strategy was really linked to a culture change. The values of Zain has been created. The numbers started to show. But I also had this doubt of, should I join the group or should I join the group? It's an adventure I don't know a lot about. I am an engineer, and they're talking business and business development and mergers and acquisitions and having meeting with board members and stakeholders, and this did not resonate with me a lot. I still preferred my engineering background.
But I think it's also interesting that even though, of course, telcos are numbers driven, the values they created, to me, I love those, right? They are really, let's say, soft, really, I think, connected to your sense of purpose.
Yes, that's correct.
So I think it's also nice that they somehow maybe realize that that needs to go before being profitable. That there needs to be this culture where everybody can resonate with.
Agree 100%. And this culture that people resonated with, or at least most of them, is what drives the growth.
Yeah.
I understood this, but I benefit from the growth personally. So a lot of the growth values came back to the employees, the culture of the employees, the workspace became really nice. We enjoyed sitting at work more than we used to do. No one leaves at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I lived in an era where, let's say, self-driven effort really pushed us to achieve more without asking why and how, and we just need to do it.
Just go. Yeah.
We just need to do it. Until I became a department manager of this radio department. I had 40 employees under me, and I lost touch.
I was just about to ask you, because if you're really, let's say, a good engineer or a good professional, it doesn't necessarily mean, and normally then you go up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that makes you happy. So that was exactly what I wanted to ask.
I've always been soft and good to people.
Yeah.
They energize me. I like being socialized.
Yeah.
But with targets, in a young age, I lost touch. I could not really balance my values with the actions that I need to take.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel comfortable. But I lost that touch.
But to me, it's so resonating with me, because why is my dream to create more human-centric organizations? Because I'm always explaining that most companies have lost their path, right? Due to steering on numbers, we've lost the focus on employees, customers, and purpose.
Yes.
So I really resonate with your story as well.
Yeah, exactly. This is what happened. So in 2006, I went to holidays in August. And the first day I came back, I could not go to the office. I felt I cannot do this anymore. I cannot be driven by performance, KPIs. Management are pushing me to just make sure everything is driven. And the group is expanding somewhere else, and I'm still doing networks.
Yeah.
And I'm a manager. I cannot go out installing sites or fixing
stuck in the office.
It's not my job anymore.
Yeah.
So I told you, I lost touch. The first day of me resuming job in 2006, after the holidays, I went to the group CTO at that time and said, listen, I cannot do this anymore. I need a challenge. And in 2006 was the year of awarding the license in Saudi Arabia. And Zain was really building the company there and wanting to, actually 2007, wanting to expand and build a new greenfield company in Saudi Arabia. So he said, you came in the right time. We need someone in KSA. From a social perspective, it was, I cannot say it's a mistake. It's an experience. We learned from it, but it was tough because it started my journey being out of Kuwait for a very long time. So I went to Saudi Arabia. They gave me the eastern region to build the company from scratch. There was nothing. There's no Zain in KSA. So I managed to build a company in the Eastern Province. We had 5 provinces competing with each other: Riyadh, East, North, Jeddah, Makkah, and South. And we are all friends trying to, whoever launches the network first wins. I think I came third, maybe. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
It was very difficult experience. So I came from just knowing radio into trying to manage an organization with all the disciplines that comes with it, and dealing with the government, dealing with the municipalities, trying to create a legal entity. And this is the only thing that I was really avoiding in the past years, which stopped me going to the group, doing the business side.
Yeah.
But I had to do it by force because it's my success.
Yeah.
And I really believe that Zain would have done a lot of impact positively in the Saudi market. So I spent the 2007, 2008, August 2008, we launched Zain KSA and I left. Came back to Kuwait, to the group now, forcibly. There's no option to come back to Kuwait. In the group, we stayed for 3 months. Then the management said, you guys need to go back to the headquarters in Bahrain. But at that time, I didn't think twice. It's my job, I need to do it.
And now in your role as CEO of Kuwait, what made you decide to want to be CEO, and what is sort of your dream end result? What you hope, let's say 3 years from now, what do you hope that people say, not so much indeed about the business success, but how you led the transformation? What do you hope that people will say?
I didn't choose to be a CEO, actually. I always saw myself as a CEO. Not a CEO by itself, but someone who can influence the company. Mm-hmm. I felt I'm really genuine to it, so why don't I get the chance to really serve it genuinely?
Yeah.
I always felt that, and faith takes you to this. I was asked to come, and it was my happiest day, actually, because for the first time, I think I do have the power now to fulfill a dream.
Yeah.
And at least to give and take at the same time. Not take from a materialistic point of view, but take from self-satisfaction.
Yeah. Your personal journey.
Personal journey. Because as I told you, I lived in an era where culture and values really meant something to us. It ended in 2008 with all this global market collapse and all these things, and the change, our divestment from Africa and the reduction of the group. So business took a different direction. But still, there are values that we still believe in. And I think we always need to go back, not to the same ones. The world has changed. But to the same principle of people are the heart of anything we do, being an organization or being a family or being in the streets or being in a dialogue. It's always about people. When I say Zain are walls and buildings, and it doesn't have a spirit.
Yeah.
The spirit that radiates from these walls is what we inject in it.
The Zainer, right?
The Zainer thing.
Yeah.
And this is something we really believe in. I have supported or surrounded myself with a really support team. They're sitting with us here.
Yeah.
I think I want to believe that they really believe in the direction that we are taking. And this is not a real simple direction.
Yeah.
Changing a company is the hardest thing to do. But I have a privilege. I think I am supported by the board of directors to endeavor this direction and really achieve something with a financial impact. Of course, increasing the shareholder value is my first KPI.
Yeah.
And I need not to lose focus on that. Then there is the group represented by the vice chairman and group CEO, who I am 100% aligned with him on the values that he believes in. And I think he is the motivator for such a program to do. And I could not really wish for better than this.
Sponsor.
I don't need to go back and convince him for something I want to do. No, he believes in it, and I believe in it, and I believe in it, and I think we are aligned.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of caliber in Zain who can really push this program forward. So this is how I see the organization, and that's why I want to become a CEO, just to solve this puzzle and really. And what my legacy would be is bring back the spirit of Zain again, because even if I leave, it will remain.
Yeah, should continue.
I don't want people to say that this is Nawaf's work. No, this is everyone's work.
Yeah.
But I think probably it will give them so many years of boost and energy to bring this company back in an advantage that no one can copy.
Yeah.
And this is a smart way of doing business. Yeah.
I'm afraid I have to agree.
Yeah.
But I think also to me, you mentioned there are two things you can do, but I think because of course you need to share the story and the why. But I think what's also really crucial is that you lead by example in the things you do, right? So I think if people see you actually, talking to customers, asking them, hey, what was your impact on customers? Measuring things that show the impact of customers, right? Then you're very aligned in what you're saying and what you're doing. I think that's really valuable. And for me, what I love, what really resonates with me is the courage, right? For me, it takes courage for a CEO in this world of numbers, short-term gains, etc., to choose this path, right? That's why I think also for employees, anyone working in an organization, I think that's in the end why you chose to work somewhere, right? It's not only just making profits, it's how you can do this and understanding your daily impact to me as well, right? I think that's what I love of doing these programs for, I have to admit, almost 25 years. But whenever an employee sort of tells me, I think one of the most beautiful sentences, feedback we got is, this makes my work more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then for me, that's my, so okay, I can, use that for 3 years and then face another challenge. But for me, that's the same, right? I think that's what we try to achieve also with Unity. And maybe we can bridge a little towards Unity. So what is it to you, so that listeners understand? And why now? Why do you feel now is the perfect time?
Okay. Let me start with the why now. I think this is no secret that this industry, the telecommunication industry, is going through a very difficult phase globally. It's not only Kuwait. There are no local companies competing with groups. There are 3 groups, giant groups in the region: the Zain Group, the SDC Group, and the Ooredoo Group. And they both have the same consultants, and same directions, and same people telling them what to do. So there is no edge of competition here. The only thing that we can compete and differentiate ourselves is us, as people, as employees.
Yeah.
The skill sets is a very important thing, but the spirit of wanting to achieve something different is more important. And I think we have this edge in the organization because it is in the DNA of Zain, being a wonderful world and being focused on delivering the best value to the customers. And if we crack this now, I think we do have a competitive edge going forward against the competition. The only thing we can differentiate is how we deliver the customer experience. And the same reason that keeps everyone in this room happy working in this organization should be reflected on the customers. And this is the missing link.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do it. I think the team here will crack this equation.
And talking about everyone in the organization, maybe again to make it super tangible, can you give an example of, let's say, a Zainer in the call center, a Zainer in the shop, and an engineer? What do you feel Unity means to them? So what is the impact of Unity in their daily work? How do you feel that it would change their work?
Let's start with the call center. That's probably the easiest because they deal directly with the customers. I think if the call center agent believes in a purpose that keeps him all these 8 hours and night shifts answering these calls, then it will be reflected on the service that he provides. So if he can reflect this purpose into what does the customer want from us as an organization so I can serve him better, then there are no boundaries for him to innovate and be productive in a way that he serves the customer, provided that we give him the necessary tools around, let's say, his job, the support information and tools and, let's say, gadgets that helps him take the extra mile. But I think this is a really direct connection between us, even if it's in the phone.
Yeah.
But when they call a company, I want them to call someone they feel, not a company that puts them on hold.
Yeah.
And someone who really repeats the same text and text.
Script. Yeah.
I want the customer agents to get out of the box and really take the extra mile.
Yeah. Bring in their personality as well, right?
Why not?
And for a colleague in the shop, an example, what do we mean to them?
They are different. So they look at the customer as products and services.
Mm-hmm.
If Unity helps them really build the relation between the products and services that he's requested to sell into the needs of the customer, then I think he will sell more.
It's also interesting how many organizations, especially when it comes to sales KPIs, it's short-term, get as much revenue as possible.
Yes.
But there's not a connected KPI that these customers are also leaving quickly.
Exactly.
Right? So you want to attract the right customers that stay longer.
Yeah, I want the sales agent to sell a way of life instead of selling a product. I want him to believe that a communication product or a telecom product or an iPhone or a device or data is a way of life. This thing will enhance his life in so many ways. I don't know. He needs to have this connection. You sell because you believe that this organization needs to profit and you own part of it. And I think you need to look at the customer from that perspective also.
Yeah.
I need to sell him something that really improves his life.
Yeah.
And I want to be proud of it. If this link is there, and this is very, very difficult to achieve, it needs a lot of training with the call center, with the sales agents, and really we need to work hard on that area.
Yeah.
And for engineers, I think the IT engineers need to look at the impact of the codes and systems and whatever they do on the customer itself and on the commercial side.
On the colleagues.
On the colleagues themselves. there is a big disconnect between who wants the service and who builds it.
Yeah.
And there's always that fight and disconnect between them. I don't care how do I do it. This is the way you told me to do it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, this is your problem. You told me to do it this way. And this should stop.
Yeah.
And I think we took the first measure this week of merging two divisions from technology and marketing together, just to create the example and to make sure that everyone needs to speak the same language. When marketing comes with a product perspective or an offering, engineering needs to think of the impact of that offer to the customers themselves and to their colleagues. Take the extra mile. Come with a recommendation. If this doesn't work, don't tell them, well, you told me to do it this way. Come with a recommendation, because you are a customer at the end.
Yeah.
You use the service. Your family uses the service. Your friend uses the service. So why don't you put that impact genuinely from your heart to say, let's do it differently. Maybe we reduce the journey steps. Why not? It's less job for me. And we let's do it. Yani. If they have this open communication, because if commercial knows the limitations of technology, I think they will think differently and try to build the offers more efficient. And if technology knows the inspiration of the marketing team and the commercial team, they will help them achieve it, even if it's more work to do or more customization to do. And this is the secret blend. I am experimenting today in that. The digital team with the digital marketing will be one unit. It's an adventure. I don't know if this is going to work. I think with the people that are engaged rightfully in this, it will succeed. But we still need to see the results. But I'm excited for that.
I think it's a nice link to the idea of working with journey teams, right? You already mentioned the journey, and journey can be super complex, but in essence, it's which steps do the customers go through, right? Really looking at it from the customer or employee perspective. And also there you have this organic way of working together, because a journey of onboarding a new customer, it's never just the shop, it's never just the call center, right? You need all the different departments. And also there I really like this to experiment with. For example, today and tomorrow we're going to do these workshops, right, for the customer and the employee. And one of the main feedbacks we tend to get is, because everybody's working in their own department, this is the first time that they hear from each other what everybody's role is in the journey. And that's so valuable for them already, that I just always really love the energy that happens when you start thinking from journey perspective.
Yes. And building on that, what we need to build also is, after the workshops and after we map the journeys and really understand what needs to be happen, I don't know if this is part of the program or no, but what I want to have is a sustainability culture for this attitude to continue. So it's not one-time exercise.
Exactly.
And no. If it takes an organization change, we need to do it. If it takes a culture change, we need to do it. But we want to make sure that these seeds grow up in the organization and it becomes a habit.
Yeah, it becomes a new way of working, right? It should be part of the DNA. Yeah.
Yes.
That's also one of the reasons why I still love this after 25 years, is because it's not copy-paste, right? So 80% of the scientific approach we can reuse in organizations, but that 20%, to me, that's still why I loved it. You also mentioned the puzzle, right?
Yes.
We like to fix puzzles because they're complex.
Yes.
And for me, that's also a really crucial part. So yes, we can, I think, energize a lot of people, but to really get it in DNA, we need to think of so many things, like the rest of the leadership layers, right? How are they going to talk to Zainers? Are they going to ask them about customers? Are we going to make sure that KPIs are balanced with customers? And I think if we add all these pieces of the puzzle together, then it becomes the DNA and not just, hey, this is a nice customer experience or Unity project.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. With the help of everyone and with the help of you, I think we'll achieve I need to see this to give me the technical tools to follow up on the achievements that we want. Yeah. And it's gonna change with time. It's always gonna change with time. This is very dynamic.
Organic approach. Yeah.
But if it's in the heart of the way we do business, many years from now or a few years, we don't know, we are leaving. So the next generation will come, and I want them to continue on the same path of not the strategy itself. The strategy comes with different people. Everyone comes with their own direction, but the right way of working with each other at Zain, this is the seeds that I want to build. And yes, this is my legacy, but it needs to be quantified in a scientific way. And I hope the guys in these 2 days session will achieve something. I'll be following it up directly with them. I'll be also engaging. I'll try my best to engage. Yeah. And let's see where it goes. But still for us, because I'm an emotional person, I still look at it as a journey, an adventure. Yeah. Regardless of the results, I'm going through it. Yeah.
And I really also love that about you. And for me, it's the same, right? I think this is yes, we have a direction, But every month we'll figure out, hey, this is now what we discover. Okay, maybe we should go a bit to the left. Maybe we should go a bit to the right. Right? That we follow indeed the journey to what's the best approach to get there in the end.
Yeah. And I want everyone to know that all of them are empowered to shape this journey the way they want, as long as we achieve the final target. There is no one direction to that. Every route takes us to a destination. And the combined mindset of all designers in this organization who are 100% empowered in Unity program to make sure that they innovate and they participate and they give direction and just help us take the decision. At the end, it's their program. It's not my program. I'm just a sponsorship. I'm just a sponsor. I want to make sure that the company vision is implemented. But I think everyone needs to find his own, let's say, passion and do his best out of the box. Everyone is empowered. This is a very important thing when it comes to, first of startups mentality. Yes, everyone is empowered, but we are not a startup. We are a mature organization. But if we go through change, we also need to have this empowerment side. Every idea is acceptable because it's an adventure. Let's see where it takes us.
I think that's also a beautiful bridge when you say, we all work together, we want to co-create. So we've talked about purpose, right, which is one of the 3 pillars behind Unity as well. So one of the ideas that we also want to do, dear listeners, is that we co-create this sense of purpose. So you had a session on June 6th where you already had a conversation with several colleagues to talk about what is it actually and what does it mean to you. And maybe you can elaborate a bit about what happened there and how you felt about the energy. And then we can sort of address what's coming to keep co-creating on purpose with them.
Oh, June 6th was really a pivotal, let's say,
moment
in me explaining Unity. The only thing probably in June 6th, I did not have the tools that we have today to explain more scientifically what we are doing and what did we achieve or whatever. So I focused on the purpose side. And I came from 2 angles, that everyone needs to have his own purpose. That's one thing. And secondly, the organization needs to have an identity, which is a purpose by itself, that everyone should adhere to. It's like a religion. We believe in it. Everyone understands his own way. But this is something that really unites us. And that's why Unity and the purpose. And what resonates to me is the belonging side of the values that we have.
Yeah.
This is an easy step that we can build on. I think going forward, we will be shooting surveys to the employees to try to really engage everyone's mind and heart, not only minds. Heart is very important to create the service, and trying to really gather all the common ideology that they want to have in this organization and try to shape it in one corporate culture and corporate purpose and build on it and try to communicate it. And when we want to communicate it, we really need to build the exact program and to make sure that it's understood, touches everyone's people. It's simple, yet it's very powerful, and it achieves our target and pushes people to be within this circle of self-energizing job making, let's say.
Yeah. It's like the best self, Dan Cable idea, right?
Exactly.
Being your best self at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been inspired by Professor Dan since my MBA times.
Shout out to Dan.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we would like to do. June 6th was the first, but it's not the end. I think after the end of this program and when we have some tangible findings or objectives or data, we need to go back to the employees again till this is where we have reached. Just explain everything and ask them to give feedback and participate more and more and more. I think the task force that we have today is professional and diverse. And the beauty of it is that no one is here because of title. Everyone works because they want to do this. And this is a very important thing to me, achieving the targets that we want. It's about the purpose itself.
Let me just bridge that. So one of the ideas, right, to need to make this purpose more tangible is that we're going to ask all the listeners, all the Zainers, to share, hey, what's your personal purpose? And also, what do you think the purpose of Zain, the corporate purpose, should be? Just thinking back about our conversation, because I think now the listeners have gotten a really good idea about you personally, your drive. I think that's really valuable and inspires them. I think they have a better idea about Unity. One final check at two final questions. So one is if Zainers feel, hey, I have something to share about Unity, can they reach out to you? Can they reach out to the task force?
Of course. This is what I'm asking for. Reach out to me. If you cannot find me, the task force are here. The names are known. There are 10 of them, I think, now. Everyone is a champion of Unity, and they're all on the same level. So, yeah, of course, come out. And if you want to participate, we are more than welcome.
Okay.
In this project, the more who believe, the better.
The better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you so much for your time. For me, it's another confirmation of, feeling energized to work with you, but also with the rest of the team.
Thank you.
And I think if the listeners have any questions, they know where to find you. They know where to find the task force. So let's enjoy the journey.
Thank you very much. And thank you for hosting me on my first podcast. You really enriched my belief in this program again and again. And I hope we'll have a successful journey. And thank you very much. And yeah, people can reach me anytime or the task force. This is a very important milestone for Zain. Everyone should believe in it and everyone should support it. And I think we'll have good results. And thank you very much.
Shukran.
Shukran.